Chelsea playing against Brighton. The interesting part about this game is we all know Chelsea, that they've been going through what we call a major downfall. We used to think it was a smaller downfall, but it continues happening in so many different competitions. They're out of all the competition that they've been in, of course. But like I'm saying, they keep going down and it needs some explanation. Of course, people are talking about Cole Palmer drying out. They're talking about Sancho disappearing, not being able to take the games in the scrap of his neck. Talking about Pedro Nato, the Wolves guy, the guy who ran the show, is not really running the show at all now when he's in this club. So a lot of things have raised so many questions to the world, but yet still less answers when we look at what's happening in the game. But it's going to be interesting to see, because Brighton also are not really rosy as the world actually expect them to be, because they've not been doing well themselves. Of course, they might have picked up some wins there and then, but they have not been performing well in the Premier League. They have been struggling to win games. They've been struggling to find, composure. What actually makes this game even more interesting is that the fact that they played against Chelsea during the weekend and they'll meet each other again, that's what makes it more exciting. They lost by 2-1. Chelsea, the first game, can they, try to put a revenge on this thing? I can't spin it out. I just have to wait and see what happens in the game. But it's going to be exciting. What are your predictions? My prediction, I think it's going to be 2-2 draw. It's at Brighton. Again. It isn't again, people. Again. So Chelsea never went back home. Even though I think it's in London, if I'm not mistaken. Arsenal versus Leicester. Now, this is an interesting game because I think Arsenal are ready for this one. The interesting news when it comes to Arsenal is actually the news of Kai Havertz actually out for the whole rest of the season. And the extra one, we just said recently that Saka has extended 8 more weeks to his injury, to his recovery. So it means that if you're expecting to see him this week or next week, talk about it, 2 months between he comes back. I think it's not going to be easy for the Arsenal fans to accept it, but that's the truth of the matter. That's what we're being told. People want to know your thoughts in the comment section over that one. West Ham versus Brentford. It's an interesting game. Oh, by the way, I think Leicester City are going to lose this game by 4-0. Arsenal always score. But I remember last time these two played each other, Leicester scored an interesting goal. It was at Arsenal's team, and I think that was Arsenal's strongest team. What happens now when they're missing so many players like this? Don't be surprised.